not follow a monthly magazine of more than one coaching institute, otherwise your content will be. So in the initial reading itself, don't start making notes, otherwise in initially it is impossible to integrate both. But when you are revising it, try to integrate into, as our syllabus is very huge, it becomes difficult to recall them. When you are making your notes, don't make it lengthy, don't make it in paragraph style. It should be more keyword focused. Don't revise the original book, make notes out of it. If you feel some of the content in your notes you can remember, you can recall it easily, just remove that content and make your note more shorter. Good evening everyone. So this is my fourth session where I will be speaking about how to master mains note by the year end. Like in the last session yesterday, we spoke about what should be our strategy from July till December, where notes preparation was one of its component, a major component, a foundation of our overall preparation. So in today's topic, we will discuss much more in detail about how to prepare our notes, what type of notes we have to prepare, what for different subjects in GS1, GS2, GS3, GS4, different requirements are there. We will discuss about that also, some of the common mistakes which we have to avoid, and there are other things also which we will come across. So let's start. Okay. So when we start our preparation of UPSC, we generally hear that we have to study a lot of information. Our syllabus is so huge that we have to do almost PhD level type of study. For that, obviously, lot of content is required, but it is not totally true because it depends a lot on how you prepare your notes. So let's say कि हमारे notes अगर प्रॉपर टेक्स्ट बुक जैसे होंगे देन इट्स ऑब्वियसली बिकम अ पीएचडी लाइक सब्जेक्ट बट so we have to avoid the information overload in that case. And like I have mentioned ki most aspirant including me in the first few attempts, what I did, I had too many content scattered across different sources. So for example, I was reading NCERT, I was highlighting some of the points there, making note on the margins. Then I used to go to some standard textbooks like Shankar IAS or Lakshmikant we read for polity, or some magazines of coaching institutes. So that was the second source. Then third, I used to cut newspaper और newspaper को एक clippings को अलग से एक notebook में maintain करता था. That became a third source. Then fourth, all these for current affairs I used to read some coaching's monthly magazine. उसमें वो एक अलग नोट हो जाता था. फिर लेट्स से प्रीलिम्स के बाद वी आर ज्वाइनिंग सम कोर्स फॉर मेंस, उसके अलग नोट्स बन रहे हैं. देन आर आंसर शीट्स, वो एक अलग. तो देयर आर 6-7 अगर सोर्स बन जाएंगे, आर कंटेंट विल बी स्कैटर्ड अक्रॉस डिफरेंट सोर्सेज विच विल मेक इट डिफिकल्ट फॉर अस टू डू रिविजन. So some of the things which we have to avoid is first, too many sources. So I have mentioned that we generally refer lot of books for different subjects. That is one source. Then in telegrams nowadays we are getting lot of PDFs. So let's say some coaching institute or some topper is sharing society ka notes in GS1, we are downloading it. Then if we find कुछ उससे ज़्यादा अच्छा source from some other topper or from some other coaching institute, we again download it and collect so many telegram PDFs. Then multiple monthly magazine. Do not follow monthly magazine of more than one coaching institute, otherwise your content will be scattered across different sources. The first thing is avoid too many sources. Second is don't make note out of each and every source. So let's say you are reading NCERTs. Okay, now first you read it to understand the concepts, highlight important points. Then you go to some standard textbooks to further your knowledge. Like let's say if you have read Politica NCERT, then go to Lakshmikant, usme highlight important points which were not there in NCERTs. Then you have to cover current affairs also, so follow some monthly magazine or yearly magazine or newspaper, highlight it. If like you can, what I used to do, I used to take screenshot of some of the important editorials of newspaper and used to send it to my Telegram so that I can compile it later. Then you have to do some value addition also, that like it is a continuous process. So value addition part also, what you can do, you can copy it and store it online. I used to do it in Evernote. So, and in the second revision, when you go, select some of the important keywords, important concepts which you feel is important, and then make a note out of it in a consolidated form. So in the initial reading itself, don't start making notes. Otherwise, your whole year will go into making notes and you won't be able to revise anything. Third is, it should not happen that you are not consolidating anything. You have to consolidate static and current information. Like in initial days, what we do, we divide it into static and current affairs. So in initial days, it is impossible to integrate both. But when you are revising it, try to integrate into some consolidated format. I would suggest make online notes, like in Evernote or in Google Doc. So there you have to make consolidated notes, otherwise it will be of no use. Then I have mentioned avoid poor revision. So before mains, no matter how hard you have studied, even if you have studied 14 hours a day, every day till mains, but if you are not able to revise your content, all of the content, you are not getting that sense of completion before the mains examination or before any mock test, you won't be able to score good marks in mains test, because what we read at the last is what we write in the examination. So for that reason also, note making is very much important. Let's go to the next slide. uh, okay, so I have mentioned that why notes are important. Notes are important because it is not like we are reading a lot of humanities in GS1 to GS4. There are concepts, but as our syllabus is very huge, it becomes difficult to recall them, and recalling each and every concept just before the examination. So that's why I have mentioned notes are for rapid recall rather than collecting lot of data. So that is the key thing you have to remember. So I have mentioned what are the wrong approach and what is the toppers approach. So in the wrong approach, I have mentioned, collect, if you are collecting each and every fact you are coming across, that is the wrong approach. For example, you are studying for prelims in the month of March, April or May, and you see in science and technology part, let's say in some monthly magazine, if you are reading that South Korea or US have developed some defense equipment, so you are writing it down without knowing whether it is relevant for your mains preparation or not. So you do not have to collect every available fact. You should read it, but you should also know what is relevant for mains and note down only those current affairs or value addition. Then when you are making your notes, don't make it lengthy, don't make it in paragraph style. It should be more keyword focused. It should be more like how you will write your answers in the mains examination. I will show you one example for this. So I have mentioned you should not make lengthy paragraph style notes. So for example, I will show you. Okay, so this is a topic of bail law. Here in introduction, I have written it in paragraph style because it was a current affairs topic, and we generally forget what is the overall concept. So I have mentioned about concept of bail in introduction. I have mentioned this Supreme Court judgment related to it, and I have highlighted the keywords. So in my next notes, which I have refined to revise just before the mains examination, I will note down only these keywords, like it is a legal instrument, it is related to liberty of accused, so that to without giving her any unjustified benefit. Then this is one of the quote, this is a legal doctrine mentioned by Supreme Court, that bail not jail is the basic rule. And I will mention the Supreme Court judgment in my uh, micro notes, which I will revise just before the mains examination. Now these are not in the paragraph format, these are in points format. So in significance, you can see I have just mentioned the keyword presumption of innocence, and then I have substantiated it with the Supreme Court judgment, which mentioned a person is innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. Then again, I have mentioned keyword issue of pre-trial detention, and I have substantiated it with data. So this is my comprehensive note, which I made just after the first reading. So this, in my second reading, in first reading, I highlighted some of the important things in of the concept, and in the second reading, I noted it down in my online notes. So you can see this. Then multiple unlinked notebook. So what will happen, let's say you are, let's take example of polity only. So let's say you are making your static notes, that is in one notebook. Then you are making current affairs notes, that is in another notebook. Then value enrichment is in some other notebook. So don't do that. In the example I showed you, this bail law, it is not mentioned in any of the in the syllabus of GS2, but it is the part of current affairs of judiciary. So I have integrated it with my static topics. जैसे under trials is also a current affairs topic, prison reform is also current affairs topic, but criminal justice system is not a current affair topic. It is mentioned in the syllabus. This is the static part, this is the current affairs part, and the value addition is also integrated within my notes in a consolidated form. Revising the original books. Don't think that just before the mains examination or just before you are appearing for any mock test, you are gonna go back and read the standard books and will be able to revise it properly. Because let's take an example, in GS1 in modern history, around 3 to 4 question comes around of 50 marks, and for that you won't be able to give time to whole spectrum of 500-600 pages to revise. Don't revise the original book, make notes out of it. Okay, so the topper's approach is compress information for recall. You have to make your notes as short as possible with each and every revision. So you have to reach to the micro notes, which will be of 10 to 15 pages for each paper to revise just before the examination. Then in your notes, you have to mention keywords. You have, if possible, make diagrams, use flowcharts in your notes itself. Then there should be one consolidated topic wise source for your revision post December. So in this time period, July to December, we have to prepare that one consolidated source of ours for each paper. For example, I did it for myself in case of polity. I did not refer to Lakshmikant or let's say monthly magazines or different or any other sources after December. I only referred to my original notes, which was this. I only referred this after December, and before mains examination also I referred this, not Lakshmikant or any other source. Okay. Now we will go into how you have to prepare your notes for different topics. So I have prepared a 4-layer framework for strategic notes, which will build depth, and where you have to build depth and value incrementally to ensure your answers stand out from other average aspirants' response. Okay. So first is you have to build foundation. So for foundation, you cannot start noting down concept. You have to read things properly. You may have to read any concept multiple times to develop an understanding about that concept. For that, you have to start with that source which is easy to understand. And for that reason, I have mentioned you have to build your foundation from NCRTs, from standard textbooks, or if you are taking help of any foundation course, so the notes you are preparing in the class, you have to refer that to build a strong foundation and conceptual clarity. So once the conceptual clarity is there, once your static is prepared, now it's the time from August to August next year, which is the main cycle. You have to prepare current affairs for this time period for next year's mains. So you have to do seamless integration of news, editorials, and recent developments. You can take help of um, monthly magazines, yearly compilations, or you can also use ChatGPT or AI to summarize the content mentioned in editorial or give it to you in UPSC answer format. Okay, so third part is PYQ integration. Now, why PYQ integration is important? I have mentioned it in my first two sessions also, that some parts of our syllabus is not very well defined. It is vague, and we do not find content for them anywhere. So you have to use PYQs. You have to understand what type of question examiner is asking from those topics, and accordingly you have to prepare one pager notes for them. For example, in UPSC syllabus it is mentioned role of SHGs and NGOs, but UPSC asks questions from NGOs and SHGs beyond the scope of syllabus, so you have to see what examiner is asking and you have to prepare those components also. This is where PYQ plays an important role. Then the next part is value addition. Value addition, as I have mentioned, is a continuous process. It is different for different subjects, which will come into the next slide. And you have to prepare in my case, what I used to do, I used to make a channel for each and every paper, Telegram channel, and I used to take screenshot of newspaper editorials, or if I am reading any monthly magazine or yearly magazine, I used to take screenshot and send it to that group. And just after prelims examination, I used to consolidate it because it will help me to retain more. So value addition, incorporating Supreme Court judgments, reports, specific data, case studies, quotes, etc. This is a continuous process. You have to give a dedicated time frame for the same. Okay. So next is seamless consolidation workflow for final sheet. So this is what do we mean by final sheet? Final sheet is, I spoke about it yesterday also for, and day before yesterday also, for GS2 and GS3. Final sheet should be of 10 to 15 pages, which you will revise just like 2 days before the mains examination, a day before the mains examination, or even just before entering the examination hall. These are called micro notes. I will show you this. So this is my micro note final sheet for GS2, where I have mentioned what are my answer writing directives, what should I write in my intro, what should I write in my body, what should be in the way forward conclusion, then what all things I have to focus upon, write small and more points, examples, choose better headings, time management, presentation. Now you can see in my micro notes, in introduction, for each and every topic of polity, I have written one line introduction keyword, that if UPSC ask about, let's say, Rajya Sabha, then I have to mention like this was a Montagu-Chelmsford report of 1918, which was the precursor to the formation of Rajya Sabha. Then from which act the Rajya Sabha was formed, Government of India Act 1919, and in the modern constitution it is mentioned in Article 79 and Article 80. So this becomes my introduction. Similarly, for every topic it is there, for governance, IR. Next is Supreme Court judgment. Next, in the next page, I have mentioned all the Supreme Court judgments mentioned for each and every topic. You can see in the case of speaker also, I could find only one judgment. Then in case of judiciary, these were the Supreme Court judgments, other important cases. Similarly, committee recommendations. Then these are some of the important static topics which is being asked by UPSC frequently. So federalism is asked almost every year. So I have mentioned some of the value addition, some of the current affairs, some of the keywords. You can see keywords is I have mentioned in my micro notes. Keywords: financial relations, asymmetrical federalism, homogenization, regionalism. So all these things should come into your final notes, which you will revise just before the mains examination. Okay. So first is you have to know source gathering. What all things, what all sources you have to refer. You have to combine your standard textbooks, NCRTs. You have to combine current affairs, PYQs into a raw draft, and you have to integrate it with value addition. Then topic wise consolidation, you have to prepare your notes based on the syllabus head rather than what monthly magazine is giving or what any foundation course is teaching. You have to organize your notes according to the syllabus heads of UPSC. Then refinement, you have to how can you test whether your notes are up to the mark or not? You will write, you start writing daily answers, you start giving mock test, you get the mentor feedback on those answers, you do self review how others are writing, how toppers are writing. If you find your content is not good enough, then you have to do the refinement process again and again. And that's why online notes helps, because you can just edit it anytime and you can refine your notes. Then the final sheet, as I shown you, that you have to prepare micro notes after doing all this process. Okay. Now we will go subject wise in different papers, which all areas you have to focus on. So, for example, in GS1, I used to focus mainly on value addition, but you have to focus on maps, diagrams, in ancient history, art and culture, geography, um, in some cases, world history also. So maps and diagrams are important there. In society, you have to focus on multi-dimensional examples. And for example, let's say you are talking about uh, tribals. There's a topic called tribal in society in GS1. You have to collect examples from the different tribal regions of our country. So, to make your answer more multidimensional, you have to collect case studies also in case of geography and society part. And one very important thing is that you have to mention timelines and examples, a lot of examples in modern history answers, because that will only help you to fetch more marks. Timelines are important in history part, it is non-negotiable. Then comes GS2. In GS2, if you are writing just arguments, you will be able to score around 80 to 90, even if you are writing good content. But that's why I have mentioned you have to prioritize constitutional articles, landmark Supreme Court judgments, committee recommendations, quotes of ministers, some historical quotes to use it in your conclusion. So in GS2, these things become important. One more thing where in GS2 is that let's say in polity, sometimes question seems easy, but generating points for them becomes difficult. In that case, what you can do, you can develop some framework where you have to collect some attractive keywords and you can mention it in your notes, which will help you to generate more points in the mains examination. For let me give you an example. What I used to do, if I used to use one ethical keyword in every answer, like transparency, accountability, all these points become important in polity answers. Then you can use different provisions of constitution to generate points. So note down some of the important provisions of the constitution for each and every topic. Then in GS2, in governance and social justice part, you have to collect lot of examples, policy, schemes and initiatives. Data and reports are also very important in case of social justice, topics like poverty, nutrition, etc. In IR question, you have to you have to note down some of the recent initiatives taken globally. You have to note down important events. You have to read bilateral agreements and just note down what all steps both countries are taking in collaboration. You have to practice some diagrams, maps also in IR. Then comes GS3. GS3 economic survey and budget. You have to make summary out of it. Government schemes are important, but in GS3, I would suggest in GS3, maximizing your points are important, and that can only be possible if you have lot of value addition. Value addition source, when you are reading for prelims, when you are preparing for prelims, try to think from mains perspective also, and try to note down some of the important value additions in your notes for GS3. Then comes GS4. In GS4, the first and foremost thing is that you have to collect definitions of important keywords that should come into your notes. Then the second head should be thinkers and philosophers. You have to collect some of the quotes from the thinkers and philosophers. Then the third thing is you have to be well versed with some of the philosophy, some of the theories. You have to consolidate those things. Then some of the real life examples of civil servants uh, should also come into your notes. Now comes the most important part, the 5 stage revision plan. So like uh, both revision and consolidation of your notes are interlinked. तो इट इज़ नॉट अ सेपरेट थिंग, क्योंकि जब हम रिवाइज करेंगे ऑटोमेटिकली व्हाट यू विल फील कि अब ये बार बार हम रिवाइज कर रहे हैं, तो देयर विल बी मेनी थिंग्स विच विल ऑटोमेटिकली गो इनटू योर मसल मेमोरी. यू विल फील कि इसको फिर से पढ़ने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. So what you will do when you are revising it, let's say third time, fourth time, if you feel some of the content in your notes, you can remember, you can recall it easily, just remove that content and make your note more shorter. So let's see what is the process for this. So in the first revision, you have to focus on conceptual clarity, whether you have understood the concept properly or not. So in the second revision, you have to highlight some of the crucial facts, some of the important keywords, and some of the things which are difficult to remember. In the second revision, you have to do just that. We have not reached that stage where we will start making notes. Then in the revision 3, you have to start preparing your notes where you have to condense your content into important keywords, so that when you read that keyword you are able to recall that larger concept. Then in revision 4 you will start removing some of the things which you feel you can remember and recall very easily. So you have to start preparing one page summaries for every major theme in the syllabus. And in the final week as in ki you have, this is the stage where we will start preparing our 15-page notes for every paper. Like for GS1 there should be 15-page note, GS2 again 15, GS3 15, GS4 can be a little smaller. So this is that stage where you will only mention those things which are of utmost importance. You have to mention value addition, some of the important keywords which will help you to recall the overall concept, and you can also mention some of the diagrams, flowcharts in this note, so that you can revise it just before entering the exam hall also. Okay, so I have already mentioned this, that you have to avoid paragraph heavy notes, avoid writing full sentences, use bullet points and symbols to save time and space. You must you must have seen many toppers note where they are using symbols and they are using only keywords, bullet points, so that they can revise it very fast. You have to avoid paragraph heavy notes. Then avoid separate notebooks. Like try to integrate as much as possible. If you are, let's say if you are reading about elections, election का एक static portion है, you have, that does not mean कि election का static topic अलग notebook में है and current affairs के जितने भी topic हैं, let's say SIR is a current affairs, that is in another notebook. In the same notebook, in the same online notes, if you are mentioning if static part of election, then below that all the current affairs should come, so that you can revise it in more integrated manner. Okay, then copying magazines blindly. Don't copy monthly magazines or yearly magazines blindly. एक एक वर्ड उसको उठा के हमारे नोट्स में कॉपी पेस्ट नहीं करना है. Note down only those things which you think is relevant for you. Don't revise book, revise your notes, because as I said that image should come in the examination of your notes. जब हम लिख रहे हैं तो हमें अपने notes का image आना चाहिए, rather than book which is very big, which will make you go blank while writing in the examination. Your notes should definitely contain value addition. Don't make this mistake. People generally make this mistake of avoiding value addition in their first few attempts, which may get you an interview call if you are able to complete the paper completely, but it won't get you a rank. So value addition is non-negotiable. You have to do value addition, and it should be in integrated form in your notes. Okay. Continuous refinement. I have already mentioned this. With each revision, there should be refinement of notes. You have to make your notes as short as possible, and believe me, it is very difficult. You will realize it once you start revising it. So that's why I have mentioned it again and again, that one of the way through which you can refine is evaluated copies. You have to identify where I am lacking, which all areas, if I am writing, the examiner is not getting happy, and you have to remove those points from your notes. Then you have to take feedback from your mentors also. I used to show to my optional teacher whether I am making the right notes or not. I used to show it to my mentors that if I am making too big notes or too small notes. So you have to take mentor feedback. uh, just compare your notes with PYQ, whether your notes, your content is aligned with what UPSC is asking. And volume reduction is non-negotiable, because your notes should become sharper. Your notes should become more concise so that you can revise it very fast. Okay, so let's discuss timeline. You have to make one comprehensive final note before December, like this one. So like this is for polity, and you have to prepare this type of note for each topic, as in for polity, for governance, for economy, for every topic of the mains examination. A consolidated notes like this. Then by December, then you have to integrate current affairs into topic also till December. Then this is a continuous process. So our main cycle is from August this year to August next year. So you will start integrating your current affairs in your final note from August till next August. Add PYQs to every topic as benchmark. You can refer to my Telegram channel, where I have shared notes of other topics also, comprehensive notes. You will see that for each topic, let's say in international relation, diaspora is mentioned. So I have mentioned what all PYQs have come in for diaspora in last 10 years, and then only I have started my notes part. So you can see whether your notes are being aligned with PYQs. Then continuously update after test. What do I mean by continuously update after test? You have to refer model answers of your mock test. You may find some of the good contents, good points, good value addition from those model answers. You will also understand whether what question is asking and what you are writing are same or not. So use mock test का model answer properly. It will help you a lot. देन रिड्यूस वॉल्यूम एवरी रिवीजन. हर एक रिवीजन के बाद हमारे नोट्स छोटे होने चाहिए. रिवाइज नोट्स नॉट बुक्स. ओके, आई विल शो यू वन मोर थिंग. सो दिस इज हाउ my notes helped me to write daily answer writing. So I used to revise my micro notes. So in this case, they are asking, how far do you agree with the view that tribunals curtail the jurisdiction of ordinary courts? In view of the above, discuss the constitutional validity and competency of the tribunals in India. So, isme, without wasting any time, like I have to mention article in the introduction. I did not do anything. I just wrote tribunals are set up under Article 323A and 323B of Constitution. These are quasi-judicial body which deals with technical matters like CAT, NGT, Income Tax Appellate Tribunal, etc. So I used example, I used one keyword, I used article in my introduction, which came from my micro notes. Okay, this is how it helped me to write value enriched introduction in this question. Then tribunals curtailing jurisdiction of ordinary court. So see, this is giving a proper structure. Functions, इन functions के टर्म में कैसे वो कर रहा है, अपॉइंटमेंट के टर्म पे कैसे कर रहा है, अपील जुरिस्डिक्शन में कैसे कर रहा है. This comes from the keyword which I refined in my notes after 4th or 5th revision. तो ये directly यहाँ पे आ गया, ठीक है. And these are some of the substantiation which would have also been mentioned in my notes. Then tribunal does not, the opposite side of it. Okay, then constitutional validity and competency, Supreme Court judgments, constitutional reference, again Supreme Court judgment. So this is how, and then at last I have mentioned about Law Commission ka report. So you can see the whole answer is very structured. It has used lot of value addition. So this will come only through daily answer writing practice, and which will require you to prepare your notes very properly. I had conceptual clarity of tribunal from my comprehensive notes which I prepared in the starting. Then through revision I prepared micro notes which helped me to remember some of the important concepts of the tribunal, and I also integrated current affairs and value additions in my notes which helped me to write those things also in my answer. Okay, so this was the thing I wanted to discuss with note making. If you have any doubt, I will now take it. So thank you very much, and I hope this will help you in your preparation. I wish you all the best. Thank you.